Hey everyone, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for visiting. I wanted to come on and share some samples that I've made with my recently released clear set from Whippersnapper Designs called Winter Coffee. And it's this set here. And let me show you, this is obviously the set I've been using, but let me show you a new set so you can see how pretty it is when it's new. So this is a 4" by 4" set, and just to give you a size, the small images here on the side fit into the sleeve on the coffee cup, and they are not quite 1.5 inches wide. The coffee cup itself at its widest spot is about 1 3/4 inches by, I'll say 2 5/8 maybe. So did I say 2 5/8 or 3? 1, 2, yep, 2 5/8. So that's about how big the images are. So each one of these 3 images here fits inside the sleeve on the coffee cup. You also will remove the snowflake stamp, and that'll be a separate stamp for you to use. And then the Wishing You a Season Filled with Caffeine also fits within the coffee sleeve here as well. So all of the images fit within the sleeve. Of course, you can do other things with the images too. So you're not just restricted to using them on the coffee. But that's the intent for them, is to be stamped on the sleeve itself. So let me go ahead and show you some of the other products that I used, and then I'll show you my the cards and tags that I made. So I did use this Spellbinders die set. This is Ancient. This is just one of their scalloped circle sets. I also used this set from Spellbinders. I don't know what this one is called. Again, Ancient set. Yeah, the name of it's not on here. But you know, any scalloped oval or oval shape will work. I think I used this one. I'm not sure. I pulled this out to use, but this is a deckled oval from Spellbinders. And again, Ancient. I used my tag die that I designed, and it is this tag here. Sadly, it's no longer available from Impression Obsession, but I know many of you have it in your stash. So that is the tag that I used, the tag die that I used. And then I also used this set from Hefty Doodle. Unfortunately, they are also out of business. Impression Obsession is going out of business at the end of the year. Hefty Doodle is out of business earlier this year. But I did use this set here, and it's called Imperial Stitched Rectangle Dies from 2018. So there's that. I also used some of my Impression Obsession paper collections. I used this one, Sweetheart. I used this heart image here, and I think that's it. I also used some of my prints from my Winter Blues collection. Again, this is one of my paper collections. And then I used a couple, 2 or 3 prints from my Let It Snowman paper collection as well. So I used those. So those were fun to use. So again, I don't think any of these are available anymore from Impression Obsession, but you might have them in your collection. So, and now let's go ahead and take a look at my samples. First up, I used the gingerbread image and stamped it on the sleeve of the coffee cup, and then added the sentiment over here on the side. Let's see, the image is stamped on watercolor paper, and it is colored with watercolors, and then I did add some additional detail to the gingerbread with some colored pencil, so I was able to get a nice toasted cookie look. And I also used a white gel pen to add the polka dots on the bow tie and on the cheeks, and then I used a black gel pen to add sparkle to the eye, and then I outlined the ginger in clear, a clear jelly roll pen, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. So, and then the paper here is from my Winter Blues collection, and then of course some real sparkly ribbon, I think, pulls this one together. And inside is blank, but the back is also blank. Apparently I need to finish that one. So there's the first sample. Then I started using the snowman on the coffee cup, and I made a couple tags. This is the scalloped rectangle, or the scalloped oval from Spellbinders, and I just die cut it out of red cardstock. It is the Stampin' Up, what was it called? What is it called? Cherry Cobbler, I think, red. and stamped the snowflake image on the background as well as the sentiment there, and added the snowman to the coffee cup. And the snowman I outlined in the clear jelly roll pen, and then I also covered the heart with the jelly roll pen so it makes it shiny. And the eyes I added black jelly roll pen to, and let's see what else. I colored the image with Copic markers, or alcohol markers I should say, and added a little bit of definition with some colored pencil. I set an eyelet up here at the top and added this super soft chenille yarn as my tag tie. So, and then on the back I have it blank, and that's where I'll be able to write my to and from information. So I made 2 of those. This one's a little bit different. I put this clear snowflake charm up here at the top, and this is a snowflake charm I got recently from Mary. So thank you so much, Mary. It's adorable, and I think it looks perfect on my little snowman tag. So there's 2 more samples for you. And then let's see, here's another sample I made with the snowman. This time I just put it on a card. I stamped one little snowflake stamp up here like you would have steam coming out of the coffee cup. The cup itself I stamped on a piece of pattern paper and then cut it out and then overlaid the clear piece of paper that the snowman is stamped on. So it's several different layers there. You might be able to see the dimension. And then also the lid here I layered as well. So it's a piece of paper adhered to the top of the pattern paper. The snowman is stamped on white cardstock and colored with, looks like probably alcohol markers and a little bit of colored pencil. And again, I used the clear jelly roll pen for the outline and also on all the little snowflakes, and then black jelly roll on the snowman's eyes. And then over here I used a couple 3 little dots. These are from Echo Park from the A Perfect Christmas line, and I just used the 3 little red ones there. And these 2 pieces of paper here are from the Let It Snowman collection that I shared with you. So I think this card turned out real cute, real simple, and also everything got a good spritz of glitter. So I think except for the gingerbread card, I don't think, yeah, I didn't glitter the gingerbread card. No wonder it doesn't look finished. So I need to spritz it with some glitter, but everything is super sparkly, of course. So there is that card. And then let me show you my favorite snowman card. I love this one. So this one, he was stamped on watercolor paper, and then I also stamped the cup itself on watercolor paper too. And once I had the snowman image colored or painted, I cut it out and adhered it over top of this other cup. So it also has some dimension, and so I think that's fun. Let's see, what else? The background here is also watercolor paper that I die cut with the Hefty Doodle set, and then I did just a watercolor splash on the background there just to give it some color. The sentiment here is stamped, of course, and I used for most of my sentiments and my stamping that I did with watercolor, I used, let's see, VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, and I find that this ink stamps really nicely for sentiments, and then it also works really well for watercoloring. So I use that for all my sentiments, and of course then here is the piece of paper from my Sweetheart collection? No, I can't remember. Yeah, the Sweetheart collection, this one. So it was that heart sheet there. And I think that looks really, really cute. And then I just used some twine. Some of the twine that I've used on my projects is this spool here from Creative Impressions, but it's just like the May Arts stuff. It's the twine I use all the time. So I think this one turned out really cute. And of course, it did get a spritz of glitter, so it is super sparkly and fun. And then on the inside, because I want to send this away and have a coffee gift card inside, I added this little section here that you can actually slip a gift card down into. So it's just a couple pieces of paper, basically a piece of cardstock with some pattern paper on top, adhered to the card base, but I only adhered it on the 3 sides. So I left the top side open so you can slip a card in there. So making gift card holders doesn't have to be complicated, but So I love that idea of being able to tuck a card in there and sending this off to somebody for the holidays. So, but I think the snowman is so cute. I love him to death. On the back here, I added the leftover piece of heart paper, and then I stamped the snowman again just because I was crushing on him and he needed to be on the card twice. So, but I think he is so cute. So on the watercolor paper, of course, I painted the background of it purple, and then instead of coloring all of him blue to imply that he's white, I just added blue watercolor right around the edge here and a little tiny bit under his nose and left the rest of him the color of the watercolor paper. So coloring him is super easy, super easy. And I really love how the watercolor turned out on the cup itself. The pigments kind of broke apart a little bit and it has lots of like visual texture. So I really like that. So that is that card. I think this one is probably my favorite. So I'll put him right there. And then of course I had to use Santa as well. So I made this card, and similar to the others, of course, I stamped the cup on watercolor paper twice, and then the first one I cut out completely, and then the second one I only cut out the sleeve with Santa. I painted him up and stuck him to the other coffee cup. So, there's dimension there just because those are two pieces of paper added together. And then this is, of course, a piece of paper from one of my paper collections, and then the sentiment stamped there as well. Now, very subtly in the background, you might be able to see all the snowflakes that I stamped across the entire card here. You may be able to see them, maybe not. I just wanted a tone-on-tone stamping, and so I just used a craft colored ink to stamp those little snowflakes everywhere. So I think this card turned out really fun as well, and I might do the same thing with this one, add a strip of paper down here at the bottom so that I could tuck a gift card in here and send this card away for the holidays. And on the back, I just stamped the snowflake and signed my name. So there's my first Santa project. I guess I'll put him over here. And then I have two more for you, but they are basically identical. So they are Santa tags, and you'll notice I didn't actually use the coffee cup at all. I just used the supporting center image there of Santa. I die cut him, I stamped him on watercolor paper, and then I used this 1 3/4 inch circle punch to punch out the circle, and then I just adhered it to a scalloped circle that I used that scalloped Spellbinders die for, and it's die cut out of black paper. So I thought this turned out really, really cute with not using the coffee cup at all, but just using Santa. And you could, of course, do it with any of the images. But I thought this 1 3/4 inch circle punch worked really, really well. And if you don't have a punch, you could use a die. Of course, you could also hand cut a circle too, but I think that was the perfect size for him. And then on the background of the tag, I used not only the snowflake that comes in the coffee set, but I also used my Messy Ledger stamp as well, and stamped the background of the tag, and that's what's created these lines here. So I think this turned out really cute. I added a snowflake charm up at the top on some cute little gingham ribbon that Jill Norwood sent to me recently for my birthday and for Christmas. So thank you so much for that, Jill. It has come in handy already. So that's one of the tags. On the back, I added the sentiment and a couple of the snowflake stamps. And then everything got, of course, my glitter spritz, so it's sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. And then the second snowman, or the second Santa tag, looks pretty much identical. The only thing I really changed was the bow at the top. Instead of using the gingham for the bow, I added the twine for the bow up at the top. So other than that, everything else is the same. The charm is a little bit different. Instead of a snowflake, this is Santa in his sleigh. But other than that, everything is the same, even the back. So those are my samples that I have to share with you for my new winter coffee set that I released with Whippersnapper Designs. Their website is whippersnapperdesigns.com. And you can find the sets there. And you can also find them at creativepals.com. And you can also find them at Creative Pals scrapbook store in Brookfield, Wisconsin. So if you're in that area and you know of Creative Pals, they have them in stock at the shop. So this is the set. Again, it's a 4x4 inch set. And thank you so much for watching. I loved making these little samples, and I think they all turned out so cute. And hope you're inspired. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great night. Bye.